You work a full-time job. You got responsibilities. But deep down, you know your side hustle could be something real. The only problem? You feel like you never have enough time. You try waking up earlier, going to bed later, squeezing in work between calls, meeting, errands, family responsibilities, but the truth is, the issue isn't your job. It's your lack of a system. In this video, I'm going to show you how to reclaim 15 to 20 hours plus of your time a week, even when you're working a full-time job, 9 to 5, and only having part-time help by mastering your schedule like a true business owner, a CEO, or entrepreneur. So let's get you out of this hustle mode and into momentum mode. By the end of this video, you'll know how to eliminate time leaks and mental clutter, structure your week so you always know what to focus on, maximize the time you do have, and even if it's just 1 hour a day, and get more done with the help from your VAs without micromanaging. You don't need more hours. You need more clarity, better system, and a plan. So let's build it together. But what I want to talk about today is really how to get back more time. Because having more time will help you make more impact. You get more productivity. You get less stress because you have more time for things that are important to you. So my goal today is to help you create a business owner schedule, a CEO schedule, so that you can get back 15 to 20 hours a week of your time. Because why does this matter? Because when you have more time, that means you're more productive. It's not about spending a lot more time on things that aren't important. Because when I first started building a side hustle, when I had a full-time job, in my 20s when I had no family, I was working a full-time job. I was a bartender, I was a server, I was going to school at the same time. I had tons of distraction. Man, trying to wake up at 5 a.m. when you have that many distractions, it's hard. Why? Because some nights you stay out late. I was a server, I worked at night. I was a school photographer during the day. I was also going to school. Sometimes I had to study and staying up till midnight. And sometimes I was just going out partying till midnight. We all done it, right? And sometimes over time, if you continue this cycle, you'll burn out on weekends. It wasn't sustainable for me at the time. One week I'll make progress, the next week I'll fall off. Then when I realized I didn't have enough time and I didn't see any progress in my business, I was like, I got to do something different. I got to start changing. I got to make a change in my routine. So I started studying. I started looking up, what's the best way to CEOs and leaders who are managing their week. And slowly I started applying the systems that help me save at least 1 to 2 hours a week. And that's when everything started changing. Because when you're feeling overwhelmed, and if you're feeling overwhelmed right now, you're not alone. And you don't have to stay stuck. So let's just walk through this process on how to change your schedule, how I changed my schedule, because I'll tell you this, okay? When I was building my business, I had fun, I hung out with friends, and I was still able to do it. So you can do it too. And it's not because, going out, drinking, and partying on weekend was bad. It's because I figured out a system to where I did it, still hung out with friends, and still be able to focus on my business, still work a full-time job, still do all these things on the side, and still be able to make money. Okay, so the first thing, the step one that you need to focus on is you got to start doing weekly or monthly or quarterly time audit. Just think of an audit, like an IRS audit. They're checking your taxes, making sure you pay your money on time. If you're doing something wrong, they'll be like, hey, here's a fine. So a time audit, you don't need to do a 90 days of tracking. You don't need to track your hours of where you spent. Start with just 7 days. And it's just like financial audit, because if you don't know where your money is spent, so just imagine this, okay? You've been charging things on your credit card. You have all these subscriptions, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube. You got these theater subscription, whatever. You got so many subscription. Audible that you don't ever listen to an audiobook for the last 6 months. I know some of you guys, probably had an Audible subscription that you never listened to. I do sometimes too. So all these subscriptions add up. And imagine you did this in your business. You did this in your day, your personal life. All the money you wasted is going down the drain and you're not actually using it. So a time audit is similar to a personal financial audit. And I recommend doing both. Review your finances every week. Review your time every month. At least spend 1 week, so 7 days out of the week. Keep a simple log of what you do every hour. So for this week, ask yourself this question. This is step one. This is what I recommend you do, because I do this all the time. I do this pretty regularly on a monthly basis. Where did my time actually go? What block of time could I use better? What am I doing that doesn't move my business forward? You'd be surprised what you'll find. You waste a lot of time checking emails. What if you didn't have to spend 5 hours a week on emails? Checking spam inboxes and checking emails that are not important, promotional emails, updates, things like that. Those emails probably are not important for you to focus on, but sometimes our brain feels like we're being productive because that's the easiest thing to do. If that's the first thing you do, you're wasting time. If that's the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning, you check your email, you're wasting time. That should not be your time block. Your time block from waking up at the beginning of the morning should be the most important thing. MIT, most important thing. You can quote me on that. You know, that's a method right there. MIT, most important thing. Just already remember, MIT. What's my MIT this morning? Most important thing. And so you want to do the time audit once a month, 7 days. Write down hour by hour. What activity are you doing? Just be honest with yourself. I'm not going to be the one checking up on you. Of course, if you want me to check up on you, sure. Hey, shoot me a DM. I will follow up. Like, what did you do? Give me a list and I will keep you accountable, and you can share with me what you did in the last 24 hours, right? Because at 8 to 12 p.m., if you're up watching Netflix, you're wasting a lot of time there. You should be asleep. I'd rather get more sleep than be up watching Netflix, and it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. It's just about being consistent. So be honest. Be brutally honest with yourself. So don't lie. Just be like, okay, hey, 7 a.m. I woke up. I hit the snooze 10 times. I didn't get up till 7:30, and that's okay. I do it sometimes too. But then from then on, what are you doing hour by hour? Just do a quick time audit. For me, like when I do the time audit, I always find at least 1 or 2 hours that I'm wasting really a lot of time on things. So I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was telling him about this time audit thing, and he's like, dude, that's crazy. I don't have time to track my time. Have you guys ever thought about that? Like, I don't have time to track my finances. I don't have time to check where my money is going. I don't have time to see where my time is being wasted. Right? That's crazy. When you hear about it in that way, like, it's kind of crazy, right? So my buddy was like, yo, why the heck do I want to waste time tracking my time? But I told him about it, and I told him the reasoning behind it, and he started looking at it, and then I asked him, so, hey, why don't you pull up your iPhone and look at the stats? What apps are you spending most of your time on? And he's actually on his phone, like 3 or 4 hours a day scrolling. And I asked him, what app are you on, man? He's like on Twitter all the time. I'm like, why are you on Twitter, man? I'm just looking at all this crypto news and looking at NFTs. And I'm like, why are you checking that? Because I don't know, man. It just gives me a good feeling. So when I get on Twitter, I get stuck. So he's spending 3 to 4 hours a day, and he doesn't know how to put his phone down. That's how like dangerous it is. Because if you don't pay attention, your mind will automatically go to things that are easy, and then you end up just wasting time, and now you don't feel productive. Because the most important task that you're trying to get done did not get done. So what ended up happening? You feel bad. You feel bad afterward, because I feel bad afterward. I'm like, dude, I did not get what I need to get done today. Now I feel like I'm unproductive. I'm not a good father. I'm stuck at a dad. I'm not a good husband. I'm not a good son because I'm not productive. All these negative thoughts start coming in, right? You start saying bad things like, I'm not good enough. I suck at this. I'm stuck at business. Oh my gosh, we're going to fail. The world's coming to an end. Now I'm screwed. So sometimes that happens when I feel really bad. Some days when my body hurts, I start going on to that spiral. Don't go into that trap. So stop yourself from falling into that trap by tracking your time. So 7 day, I highly recommend you do this 7-day time audit every single day. Write down block by block what you actually doing. If you work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., that's your block. But imagine what you did from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Think about what you did. Because sometime on your work too, imagine if you could do the work in 3 hours instead of 6. You have 3 hours to learn a new skill to get better at your job. You get 3 hours of preparing for something, for another project, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Time audit, 7-day time audit. And I promise you 100% you will find 1 or 2 hours out of that. And when I started doing that, I started figuring out how to squeeze more time out of my day, getting more hours. And dude, every hour that I find extra is an hour that I can use more productively, like taking breaks to recharge, or using that hour to learn a new skill, using that extra hour to work on a project. All right. So step number 2, if this is your first side hustle, if you're a new business owner, new entrepreneur, and you're not used to like living in a structured routine, the only way for you to be successful is you gotta follow a routine. And I'm really sorry, that's painful. Dude, I love living this freedom lifestyle, you know, like I remember back in the day, we always be like YOLO, like, you know, you only live once, let's go do it, guys. Like, let's go take a trip down to California or something. And I'm like, I can't do that anymore. You gotta live this simple, weekly, structured life. It's boring, but it will get you to the next level with 10x your productivity. So instead of planning every single day from scratch, build a reoccurring weekly routine. And this is simple, but it's hard to follow. It's easy said, but it's hard to follow. But you have to practice it. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect. Remember, we're not seeking to be the perfect version of ourselves. We're just seeking to get close to that 80% that we're trying to be close to it. So for me, how I used to do it was Monday, I was focusing on creating marketing content. And Monday, I was used that time, my first 1 or 2 hours is marketing content, and I was focusing on planning my week. So Monday is either marketing content or planning out my week. Right? 1 or 2 hours, it doesn't take long. You shouldn't be having that many meetings on Monday anyway. Monday is a planning day for me. Always plan the beginning of the week. What are the top 3 things that you need to get done? What are the most important things, the MIT that you got to get done every single day? So plan out the week. And honestly, when you have this weekly structure already laid out, it's very simple. So if you want your Monday to be a content creation day, that could be it. Content creation planning day. It could be your weekly most important tasks planning. These are the top 3 things I got to get done this week. Right? For me, that's always been my top, which is figuring out what do I need to get, the top 3 things I need to get done. I talk to my team, I talk to my business partner, I ask for advice. What is the most important thing that will move my business forward? Top 3 things, Monday. So when you don't have a weekly schedule structure that's simple that you can follow, it's going to be very hard for you to stick to it. So on Tuesday is when I started doing the influencer outreach. So in my business, I spent time looking for influencers to promote our business. So Tuesday is where I reach out to influencers and send out the products. I spent 1 or 2 hours on that. Surprisingly, it worked for me. And that's the only time I spent. And you know, if I have any other work, I'm not saying ignore any other work, but that was the most important work. If you have clients, for me, pick a day where you do a lot of client outreach and follow up. This one day is a day where you check in, follow up on clients and things like that. Why is it so important? It's because when you transfer the task to an assistant or employee, they understand this block of time is used for this. So you just move them in, and now you're taken away. Like, you no longer have to jump in on that because this day is specifically for that. And you can always check in, be like, hey, did you do this on Tuesday? So you can transfer the task easier. So when you have a routine or a system in place, it's easier for you to transfer it. For me, Wednesday was always an administrative day and a check-in day. So I always I check in, see if anything's going wrong, if I need to pay for anything, if my assistants or my employees need help with anything on Wednesday. And it's 1 or 2 hours. Every day is a one or 2 hours of type of work when I was building this side business. Thursday was my sales and product development day. So I check on my sales data. Is my sales doing well? Did I generate sales or did I not generate sales? What do I need to do to make more money? And then I focus on product development. Those are the 2 things I do on Thursday. And then Friday, it's always, what did we do well? What did we not do well? And then we follow up. Did we get these tasks done on time? You check in with yourself. Did I get these 3 things done that I said I was going to do on Monday? It's pretty straightforward. That's how I schedule my week right there, Monday through Friday. Saturday morning, I spend 1 or 2 hours on a project that I'm working on. You can spend more time than that. You can spend 3 hours because Saturday morning, I mean, sometimes we don't work. So Saturday morning was a morning that I spend 2 to 3 hours on something that's important. Like we have a new product that we're going to launch. I spend time with photos, editing, copywriting, and uploading it to Amazon. All right. So break down every single day of what you're going to do so that you don't have to think about it. When you have to think a lot about what you're going to do every day, it slows you down. It's like going to the gym, working out. If you know that you're working out every single day, it doesn't matter what you do, just show up. The plan is to go work out. So you show up to the gym and just like walk around, and then you start seeing stuff and you do it. And that's what a lot of people miss, is that when you don't plan out ahead of time, you won't follow through. And that's how you get better at being more productive, is you got to plan out. Okay. And Sunday, of course, I rest. Usually I'm recovering on a Saturday night. You know, went out, hung out with friends, or partying, or worked really late, because I usually get out. Like at, I don't know, 11 at night when I was serving. So we stayed out a little later, and then Sunday was my rest day. And here's the caveat, okay? Here's the thing that people forget. The most important things that people forget is when I was going out and hanging out with friends, I woke up the next day at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. when I need to do my work. You can still go out and hang out with friends. This is opposite of what everybody say. Oh man, get rid of, stop drinking, stop partying, isolate yourself, go meditate for like 30 days. I'm like, no, you don't have to do that. You can still have a life, but man, show up and commit to what you said you were going to do. That's it. For me, I showed up, dude. I stayed up to 1 a.m, hung over, but I still show up, did what I had to do, get the work done, and continue on. And that's really my secret recipe. Do as much work as possible, whatever time you have, and just stick to what it is that you're doing. Don't deviate, don't change, don't get distracted, because when you get distracted with chasing too many things, you're going to get sidetracked, and that's when you don't get productive, and that's when your business doesn't grow. So weekly plan, Monday to Saturday, Sunday, do the whole week, Monday to Sunday. What are you doing? And it removes a lot of that decision fatigue. And decision fatigue is like you're overwhelmed with decision all the time. Like you're thinking about what I got to do next, That's decision fatigue, and you don't want that to happen. It's like your muscle. Do you overtrain, your body will get tired and you do not want to train anymore. Your brain get decision fatigue because you're always thinking about what's the best decision. Prevent yourself from having so much decision. Pre-plan it out. And that way you always know what to focus on, and then you can tweak it as based on how your life functions, right? Everybody's different. I can't give you guys the same recipe that worked for me, because for you, if you guys go out at 1 a.m, you might be knocked out and you can't get up the next day. So don't do that. That's a bad advice. So don't apply what I did personally. Apply it for you, what works best for you. All right. Step 3, you got to know how to batch your energy. Not the task or the project or the objective, whatever it may be. You're not a robot. You don't need to grind nonstop. You need to use your energy wisely. So what do? This is what I started doing. I started asking myself, when do I have the most energy every day? What time of day am I the most focused? And for me, it's in the morning time. For you, it's my nighttime. My wife, she stayed up all night. And I'm like, why are you up? It's 1 a.m. And she's like, oh, I got to pay some bills. I'm like, what? Why you need pay bills at 1 a.m.? Who's working? Who's working at 1 a.m.? Like, go to bed. Because your cell phone light's like in my face right now. I'm sending out an email. This is important. I'm planning out our trip. I'm like, dude, this is not the right time to be planning out a trip. This is a time when you're planning out a trip, you're going to be spending money on the things you shouldn't be spending money on, right? You be buying, like, I had a friend that she would scroll at night and she would buy random things. And she's like, she woke up the next day and she's like, I don't know why I bought this. She's like the nighttime shopper on Amazon. It's the worst thing. Like, you know how you guys see the shopping network on TV at night, like, 1, 2 in the morning. People used to call in at 1 or 2 in the morning and buy stuff. Well, this is like what they do at night now. What we do, on Temu at 1 in the morning, and then you're scrolling, and next thing you know, you order a bunch of random things you don't need and you forgot about it, and it comes to your house and you're like, why the heck did I buy this? Right? So that happens. What time of day is the most mentally charging for you, and use that time to work on the things that are most challenging, because your brain does not like to work on things that are hard. And so when things are hard, dude, you just want to run away from it. And so you need the most focus and energy to work on it. So what time of day do you have the most energy and focus? Think about that. And then what are my top 1 to 3 needle moving activities? Then batch those activities into that block of time. Right? Do not scroll. Example, do not scroll on your phone. Right? When let's say you work, your most focused time is like 7 to 9 p.m. Okay? Don't take your phone out and start scrolling on social media. Right? Maybe start changing that time to where you write, build, or focus on marketing your product or doing product research. Spend that time to do the hardest thing. Not research, not endless checking inboxes, not texting people, not doing things that are not moving the business forward, dude, like texting a friend back and forth. I'm like, dude, it's a text message. You can text it and forget it. 5 hours later, you can come back. You ain't got to text right away and wait for the text to respond in seconds. Like, this is not a live chat. It's a text message. So you don't need to sit there and watch your phone for somebody to reply. It's not a chat, okay, guys? Just remember that. It's a time. We're trying to save time, not waste time. So use the prime time for high leverage work. And this is really important. Once I start understanding that, my most productive hours is before 12. After 12, dude, I'm dead. So I'm like, man, zoning out on emails. I'm zoning out on dumb tasks that easy tasks that okay, delete things, remove things, add people, text stuff. It's not like high level thinking work. But before 12, that's my deep work session. That's my schedule now. So even if you have only, let's say, a VA for 5-10 hours a week, you can make that multiply. So if you guys are a solo entrepreneur and you have a VA working with you for say 5-10 hours a week and you hire them, you can focus on delegating the right tasks to them. And then you can create this system, this batching system, to where you can delegate the tasks that you don't like doing to a VA that can help you, grow your business, and you just check in on them. And you repeat this process over and over as you get more employees. And that's what I did. There's things I didn't like doing. I didn't like uploading files to Amazon. Those files, I'm not a data guy, so it's annoying. It bothers me, right? Sitting there looking at data all the time, it's tiresome. And I know some of you guys don't like doing that either. I don't. Right? Or organizing your inbox, scheduling social media posts, customer service follow-up. Maybe writing out marketing material, emails, whatever it may be, editing your product listing, maybe checking your PPC. Those important things could be done by a virtual assistant once you understand this is a hard task that I can delegate. And here's a tip that I like using. Use Loom or some video recording service so that you can record your screen and you create a simple tutorial to delegate to someone else. And this is how you create a system. A system is just a repeatable process over time. So the more you have a repeatable process written down and recorded, the easier it is for you to transfer to someone else. So once you hire an assistant, a virtual assistant overseas to do a task that you don't do, that you've been doing regularly, you gain that time freedom. And now you can get that time back. Okay? It's very important. Is use the one thing method. Okay, each day you got to ask yourself, what is the one thing I can do today that moves my business forward? Even if it's only 20 minutes. This takes away the pressure to do everything. Just focus on one thing, all right? I'm just going to do this for 15 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, for 20 minutes, whatever it is, the one thing. Because this one thing is the most important thing. Once you get that one thing done, it's going to build momentum for the next. You get the ball rolling, right? We're pushing the ball. Once the ball start moving, that's when things start rolling, okay? So you got to move the ball. So you got to start moving yourself. It takes away all that pressure. I have to do everything. And I promise you, you will not do everything. You cannot take care of your kids. You cannot do your job well. You can do this. You can do that. You can help your mom. All this. You can't do everything well. Just do one thing well. That's what we talk about being in the moment. You're not thinking about what's happening in the future. You're not thinking about the next task. That's just right now, this is what I'm doing. And right now, I'm talking to you guys. Right now, this is what I'm spending my time on. Build that momentum. by doing less, but doing it consistently. So the one thing, small focus win leads to that massive progress over time. Protect your focus, one block at a time. Trust me, distraction kills more dream than lack of time. Pick one 30 to 90-minute block each day as your most sacred work zone, your sacred hour, your most important hour to work. Turn off all your notifications, close all tabs, tell people to stop calling you, block your phone, block them, do everything. Put an app in place to block everything so that they know, your roommate, whatever, your friends, your family, your wife, your kids, this is the most important time that you're doing deep work. And during that time, treat your side hustle like $1 million business, because that's what it will become. If you give it respect it deserves, it will grow. Remember, if you take it like, treat it like as if it's some side hustle, easy going, you don't respect it, it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna scale to the level you want it to be, because you're not taking it seriously. Okay, make sure you spend time focusing on this specific work time. For me, it's between 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is when my deep work block is. So spend time, just get one thing's done so that you can have that deep work, deep focus, no distraction to make your business grow. And this is how you produce and 10x your productivity. Don't waste time with distraction. Block out the most important tasks in your most highly energized part of your day, and that's where you get the maximum productivity. So let's review the playbook. All right, number one, audit your time this week for 7 days. Track everything hour by hour so that you can focus on finding out where you're leaking a lot of that wasted time. Number two, build a weekly rhythm with topics, themes, nighttime, morning time routine, whatever it may be, but plan out your week, Monday through Sunday, what you're gonna do. Like for me, Sunday, God day, I spend time with my family and go to church and hang out with friends and work on my marriage, my relationship, spend time with my kids. That's what I do every Sunday. That's what I'm doing now. What is your Sunday look like? What does your Saturday look like? What does your Wednesday look like? Plan it out ahead of time so you remove all the distractive thought of what to do next. Focus on just getting things done. Number three, align your best energy time. Find where you're most productive, you're most focused and energized to do the most important task, your MIT. Number four, delegate low-level work to your VAs. If you guys got a VA, if you're a solo entrepreneur, get a VA, have them work for you 5-10 hours a week, and delegate the low stuff to them, like checking emails, checking inbox, following with customer service, whatever it may be, the low-level tasks, okay? Number five, focus on that one most important task every day. Get one thing done that's really important, that's going to move the needle. Number six, you got to protect the most important time, your focus time, your deep work time, so that you can produce results, so that your business move forward, your personal life move forward, everything move forward. And if you do 3 out of these 6 things this week, I promise you, you will feel 10x more focused, more productive. You will grow much faster and you get more results. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe and share with someone who might find this valuable to building this profitable side business without sacrificing your life. I'll see you guys in the next video.